How do cats learn their name? The question isn't whether they recognize their name, but why they choose, on their own majestic terms, to acknowledge it. Make sure to stay until the end of this video because we'll show you the exact steps on how to teach your cat to learn their name and come whenever they're called. But first, what does science say about cats knowing their names? A Japanese study conducted in 2019 revealed that cats can distinguish their own names from 3 other similar-sounding words. This demonstrated that cats have the ability to discriminate between specific words and sounds that are phonetically different. In the study, cats responded by moving their heads and ears differently when hearing their own names compared to other words. This proves that cats possess the intelligence and capability to understand human words. Another study in 2022 showed that cats can recognize the names of other cats in their household, especially their closest feline companions. However, this recognition was not as strong in a cat cafe setting, where cats receive attention even if they respond to another cat's name, and where they hear different cats' names pronounced differently by various visiting humans. The 2022 study supports the findings of a 2013 study from Japan, demonstrating that cats can recognize the specific sound of their owner's voice and know that their name is different from that of other cats. Cats also respond to other people, including strangers, who say their name, but the response is less pronounced than when their owners say their name. This study also provided evidence that cats may associate their name as a positive verbal signal rather than using it for self-identification. Can cats recognize human voices? If your cat seems more responsive to your voice than to your roommate's, there might be a reason for it. Experts say that cats can recognize and remember unique voice patterns. A cat might respond better to a favorite family member than to a less familiar guest because of this ability. A 2013 study involving 20 cats that were tested on recognizing their pet parents solely by voice. The results showed a clear preference when the cats heard their pet parent's voice among 4 different voices. They focused their gaze and attention on that familiar voice while gradually ignoring the voices of strangers. This skill allows cats to distinguish between family members and non-family members, helping them understand how to live safely and happily in our surroundings. How can I tell if my cat knows their name? Not all cats will come when you call them, even if they know their names. Only around 10% of cats actually respond to their names. Some cats, often called dog cats, might happily come over when you say their name, but others won't bother. To understand if your cat recognizes its name, pay attention to their body language. Your cat might become more alert, especially around mealtime, when you say their name. Some cats may meow back when called, similar to a game of Marco Polo. Most cats will move their body, head, or ears in the direction of the person calling their name. Watch closely, as the signals can be subtle. Some cats might just perk or twitch their ears briefly, like a quick nod. Others might swish their tail suddenly to show they've acknowledged their name. Interestingly, many cats seem to prefer names that end in a Y or IE sound. They tend to respond better when called with such names, possibly because it sounds like the mewing sounds kittens make. So, don't be surprised if your cat reacts more readily to a nickname like Kitty than their actual name. Does the tone of voice matter when you call their name? According to a certified applied animal behaviorist and assistant professor of animal health and behavior at Unity Environmental University, cats can learn that different sounds from their caregivers have different meanings. When the tone of your voice is linked to a specific action, cats quickly grasp the connection. For instance, if you call their name in a sing-song, high-pitched voice and then feed them, they associate that tone of voice with getting something enjoyable. A recent study supports this idea, indicating that cats react to cat-directed speech, especially when it comes from their cat parent. This suggests that cats may have a better understanding of what their humans are trying to communicate. Why is my cat ignoring me? Even though your cat can distinguish sounds and cues, such as their name, it doesn't necessarily guarantee how they will react. Despite your desire for your kitty to come running when called, cats might have other priorities and may already be occupied. How and when a cat responds depends on their individual nature, motivation, and current mood. When you're not offering treats or playtime, the sound of their name might not be as compelling to them as you might expect. Is your cat enjoying a sunbath, or are they deeply asleep in their favorite hiding spot? During such times, your sophisticated feline is likely to prioritize what they're currently doing over your request. And who can blame them? All too often, we expect cats to respond immediately like dogs do. Comparing the two does a disservice to both species. It's important to love and appreciate cats for who they are and not constantly measure them against dogs. What if your cat is not responding? It's quite possible that your cat is responding to their name, but their response may be subtle. Unlike dogs, whose moods are often easy to interpret, cats' body language can be more challenging to understand without learning the signs. While your cat might readily respond during mealtime, or when you have their favorite treat, there are other cues to observe. If you call your cat and they don't look at you, pay attention to their ears. If the ears twitch or turn in your direction, technically they are responding. Your cat likely knows that you're seeking their attention, but they might not feel like responding at that moment. When your cat is in a more receptive mood, they are likely to come and see you. How teach your cat their name and to come when called? Step 1. Treats. Begin by clearly saying your cat's name once, and then promptly give a treat or praise within 3 seconds. Opt for treats your cat really enjoys, like small pieces of plain chicken or churro treats. Step 2. Repeat. Repeat this process about 10 times in a minute, and then allow your cat a break. You can also incorporate clicker training into this lesson. If your cat seems uninterested or unwilling, take a break and try again later. Consistency is key, and with time, your cat will start responding to its name. Pay attention to your cat's body language for signs that they are understanding their name. Step 3. Mix. Once your cat consistently responds, start mixing saying their name with other words and sounds during training sessions to ensure they can distinguish their name from other words. As your cat becomes more adept, you can gradually reduce the frequency of treats, offering them on a random, occasional basis. If your cat's responsiveness declines, consider revisiting the training. For young kittens or newly adopted older cats with a previous name, be patient when teaching them their new names. Initially, use their old name to help them adjust to their new home. Once they are comfortable, you can then begin teaching them their new name. What if my cat still doesn't respond? There are various reasons why your cat may not respond. Some of these reasons include hearing loss. While it's not the first assumption to make, if you notice your senior cat suddenly not responding to their name, it could be a sign of hearing loss. However, this is less likely if your cat still reacts to other noises. If you suspect that your cat might be experiencing hearing problems, it's important to consult with your vet for proper evaluation and advice. Similar sounding names. If your cat's name sounds similar to common items in your home or to other family members, they could be getting confused. For instance, if your cat's name is Andy and your daughter is Mandy, it might be more effective to choose a different name for your cat. Changing your cat's name. There are times when it becomes necessary to change a cat's name. It could be because the name is the same or sounds similar to someone else's in your household. Or maybe you've adopted them and want to give them a new name for their fresh start. You have the flexibility to change your cat's name, but it's advisable not to do it frequently, as it can lead to confusion for your cat. Avoid changing the name just because your cat isn't responding promptly, as most cats have their own pace for adapting. When renaming your cat, use the techniques mentioned earlier. Say the new name with a gentle voice, especially before mealtime and during other positive experiences. This helps your cat associate the new name with pleasant moments, which can even lead to your cat following you around the house. But why do they do this? Find out more in this next video right here.